Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and the markets did not celebrate today. They came down, and they came down ugly, and we did have some great-looking charts on the upside in the midst of all of that, but we're going to show you some longs and some shorts and give you our take on them. A Biomed with an unusual day, up 10.33 or 15.86%, I believe, on a strong report, earnings report. It exploded today, as you can see, right out of a multiple week consolidation kind of falling flag. Picked up dramatically. At this point, I'm looking at 95 as a target. That's 20 points from here. We'll keep a close eye on whether we get a follow through over the next few days. CRR. Well, this is a former boxer short of ours that did very well, dropping from the over 100 down to under 30, and then formed a base, spiked up and backed off, exploded to a resistance level, filling this gap in here, and now it's forming a wedge. Today it jumped to $1.83 or 4.4%, nearly a million traded. I'm going to be watching carefully to see if this takes out 45. If it does, looking for a quick move towards the 1.5 zone as a short-term target. Senveo, big drop here as well, taking it from 24 down to 2. Now the big move up, little left shoulder head and a weak right shoulder. But the right shoulder served as a retest of the moving averages as they crossed over. Right now, you can see that the stock is popping up near the big gap. It may very well get into it. I'm looking for 6.25 or half on this target here into mid gap, maybe even to fill a gap, or at least get up towards potentially 6.75. So 6.5, 3/4 is a reasonable target. And let's put a line across there as your target zone. Cynosure, big day today. I believe the earnings is well up 223 or 6.5%. More importantly, the weekly chart shows a 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave underway, which could take it for a retest of the 07 highs up near 45. My targets on the daily chart, however, are going to be a move towards the top of the shorter-term channel. But mid-channel here says 39-ish, and again, if we do make it to the top of that channel, around 44. Earthlink with a pop and breakout of this channel and across resistance now. And by the way, testing this top here appears to me to be headed towards 7. 6.75, 7 my next target. We'll have to watch to see if there's a follow through, but it jumped 54 cents or 11% on 3.7 million, and that's the biggest volume since July of last year. Here's the overall chart picture. Looks quite interesting and potentially a breakout day today. And by the way, on Earthlink, there's 10 days to cover, 10.6 days. Golar LNG exploded, broke out of a base pattern, gapped up big time, closed up 737 or almost 20%. 11.8 million shares leading up to the resistance there, and that's one of the reasons why it backed off. Your resistance is 48.5. Your target is 55 and 59. Well, Kennametal had a nice day today. If you look at the overall chart structure, I really like the way it followed this line down from the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, kind of right-handed extended V, whatever you want to call it. It bottomed. Moving averages turned up. Today we broke out. Didn't close great, but it was up 227 or 6.3%. At this point, I'm looking for the potentiality, if we do get a decent market, that we could see this move up towards 41 to 42. Nautilus, another special day for this one, up 326 or 19% on 1.9 million, and although it's up near the top of the channel, which has been in play for quite a while, if it blows through here, we could see 25, even as high as 29. Be watching this one the next few days to see if it sets up or just blows through it. Well, of course, PTBI was our trade of the day today, exploding from 456 to 777, finally backing off $1, a couple bucks before bouncing late in the day, but it wasn't a great close. Nevertheless, when you see a stock like that gap and the volume of 62.4 million shares, it's ridiculous, but it's something like 7 or 8 times the float. We could see an extension. This may not be done yet. If it closes, it opens up firm tomorrow, it doesn't come down anywhere near that. It starts to move up. We could see 8.5, 3/4, something like that. That's my target for tomorrow, if we get a follow through, and that's a big if. It's the RL. Well, Seadrill has been acting great after the big declining channel. You can see how it popped across the channel, formed the wedge, held the moving averages, and then exploded. This has now been up 7 days in a row. Today's high got up near 15, over 15, and that's resistance. If we get through that, 17 is your next target. Little junior oil, SSC, we haven't mentioned this before, but having dropped from the low 30s, high 20s anyway, all the way down to 2 and change, and then reversing, recently forming a little bit of a wedge in here. Let's draw your line in here. But today, popping out of that consolidation wedge with volume of 4.4 million. Now it did get up to near the 595 area, reaching 606, so a little bit above it. But if you get a follow through, we could see 8.5. Somewhere up in that, well, let's call it 7 3/4, 7.5 3/4 zone is my next target. We're going to want to see whether the kind of volume we had today can be fulfilled tomorrow, and if it should get above today's high of 606, I'd be looking for about 7.5, as I said. Nice inverse head and shoulders, looking good. Volume coming in where it should be. The Taser, folks, reached 35 today, and then backed off to 34.60, but it really held well in a market like this, up 90 cents today. 6.2 million, continuing strong volume. Take a look at the consecutive days up here, up to the top of that short-term channel. If it extends and momentum takes this one to 39.5, 40 area, then I would be extremely pleased for our traders. But for now, though, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up within the 5th wave, and it could reverse at any point, so be careful. South American-based Vale, or Vale, Minerals Mining Company. You can see the big drop from the 17 range all the way down to 5.5. Recently exploded, pulled back and tested, and now exploding again. But there's resistance right here. I would caution everybody that if it doesn't get through here, it could be vulnerable to further setback. But my target now remains 9.5, maybe more. WPRT, explosive move in the last couple, 3 days, taking it from 440 to 6 nearly today. There's resistance up here in the 670, 75 range. That's my near-term target, following by 8. And lastly is Zeus on the long side. Zeus exploded for 3 days in a row, gap, gap, and gap. You don't see that too often. But with the thrust and volume, this could be setting up for more upside. My ultimate target is going to be around 21, but we may get a little pullback consolidation. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. Let's turn to the short side for a bit and show you some of the stocks that I like on the short side as well, and some of the stocks we've talked about for months now. Starting with, alphabetically of course, 3D Systems. Now, this stock's been on my list since it was in the 40s, high 40s. It's come down to 24, been cut in half since the middle of last year, and yet it continues to drop. And we're breaking this consolidation range now tells me there's a possibility that we could see 3D Systems come all the way down to a level at least around 20, followed by 17, 16. Something to watch. It's in a very bearish configuration. GMCR looking pretty toppy up here. This massive top, the neckline of that top, and multiple bottoms are right here. If we crack, looking for 95, maybe a gap fill down towards 82, 83. Stay tuned on GMCR. HST looking awfully negative, topped here, breakaway gap, came down to support and bounced. Formed a little bear flag of sorts in here. Looks like it broke down today, down 49 cents or 2.5%. But it's right underneath or right at that support level that if it breaks here, it could fall all the way down to 17, 17.5. KSU, some of the railroads look extremely weak. This is no exception. You can see the topping pattern, the breakdown, and the bear flag of sorts right there. And over the last couple of days, it's been breaking that to the downside. I'm looking for a move down to 95, 89, and then a lot worse. Another railroad in trouble is NSC. Looks like a massive top formation here. Lateral price support there. We're right on top of it. We break here. This could drop precipitously down into the mid-80s. OTEX, rather toppy, don't you think? And after this big drop, the best I could do is form this little micro bear flag. Sure looks lower to me, and my target's 45. RCL, a boxer swing short, looking terrible and going down nearly every day. Down another $1.54. My ultimate target is down around 60.61. Sandisk, maybe coming out of a bear wedge after 1, 2, 3, 4 waves here. This fifth wave could drop it down into the 60 range, if not worse. Another railroad, Union Pacific, has already broken and not forming a bear wedge. Immediate target is 96, followed by 90. And lastly is Verona Systems, which I've been talking about for a couple weeks, actually a couple months. In March, it looked to me like a short around 30, dropped down to 24, rallied back to 29. This rising wedge broke today, dropping $1.62 or 5.5%. Look for a retest of the lows here about 24, and then dropping down to 20.5, 21. That's it tonight, folks. Have a good evening.